So one of the things you see online today is people showing the successes, the finished product, and many a times you get hooked on the finished product without understanding the process. But you have to understand that before every successful story, there are thousands, or if you want, millions of failures at the back. Every one successful story has some failures. What do I mean by that? It is important you understand the journey of how people got to where they are today and how you are seeing them living the life that you are dreaming and aspiring. So on the podcast today, we are going through a couple of series where I'm going to be walking you through my personal life and sharing with you some practical lessons that I've picked up to help inspire you so that you can also add something to your life irrespective of where you are on your career, so you can also achieve your goals, so you can become successful. The first lesson that I want to share with you is this, that whether you like it or not, somebody is going to take advantage of you. Now, what do I mean by that? When I started my journey, one of the things that I had was I was working for an organization. And in this organization, I was a central piece of the operation. What it means is that there were a lot of things that I was involved in bringing clients and also executing the contract as per the terms with the client. But one of the things that happened was that I was never rewarded in the manner that I was expected to be rewarded. Why? Because there was not a formal contract. I was just a young man, desperate to get myself to do something and make some money. So I never sat down to think about contract or think about how much am I going to be getting paid every month. And so what happened was that as work was ongoing, I realized that for the most part, the only time that I'm getting something is when clients pay me money directly and I have to now give that money to my boss. So in the process of giving the money to my boss, then he will take that money and give me a portion of that for the most part. What it means then is that any money that clients will pay directly to my boss, that money I'm not going to be getting anything 99.9% of the time. Then where it all got very serious was one day my boss called me and wanted to advise me. And he was like, hey, because I was complaining about money and the fact that, I'm having some financial issues and I need to handle some bills at the end of the day. And my boss called me and said, hey, listen, you don't have to let your family people know that you are working, you are making some money. Otherwise, they're going to put a lot of pressure on you. Now, on hindsight, I realized that that is a very stupid advice that he gave me. Let me explain. This is somebody who was taking care of the mother, the siblings, and providing for them from the work that we were doing. And here he was advising me that I shouldn't let my family know that I am working so that I wouldn't be rewarded in the manner that I'm expected to be rewarded. Now, although that opportunity was like I was being taken advantage of, which I mentioned as the lesson, I learned to put myself in the spot to become successful later. What does that mean? It means that although the system looked like I am being taken advantage of, I worked because sometimes I had to walk from home to work. Sometimes I close from work, then I have to walk back home because I couldn't afford even TNT. But the system allowed me the opportunity to learn all the lessons, build my capacity to be able to launch out later. What is the lesson for you here? Whether you like it or not, you will not be rewarded to your desire. I see this all the time. People have completed the university, they are looking for a job, and you ask them, what is your salary expectation? And for some reason, they will mention a certain ridiculous amount of money. Listen, 99.9% of the time, you are not going to be getting that. What is the average salary of a graduate, a first degree holder in Ghana? Then you are sitting there, you say, hey, if I don't get X amount of money, I'm not going to work or I'm not going to get a job. I better sit at home. Listen, it is better to be taken advantage of and be paid less, but then you will use that system to then build your portfolio, to build your capacity, to learn all of the rudiments of the business so that you can put yourself in the position to demand for a higher pay later. And that is a very fundamental lesson that I've learned that has transformed my life. That whether you like it or not, no matter who you are, somebody is going to be taking advantage of you. Get it. Don't take it personal. Let the system feel they are taking advantage of you. But you got to flip it up and put yourself in the position where you learn all of the lessons. You learn all of the things, because that system, although it looks like you are not being rewarded well, they will require you to do a lot, which means you are building your capacity, you are building your strength, and that is going to be positioning you later to demand more. This is very important because these days, people are not patient. I was comfortable in that system. Although, yeah, it wasn't too good, I was comfortable because I had a long-term goal. My goal was, right, yeah, I'm not being rewarded now, but I'm getting the platform to work on my skill, to gather the knowledge and know the intricacies of the game and understand how this thing is going to be done later on. So I had a long-term goal. So although in the moment I wasn't rewarded like I wanted, I was stressing out, I was preparing myself for the future. And so one thing you need to understand is this: don't think about the present all the time. Don't think about, yeah, we've all finished school. A colleague of mine is working in a bank, wearing suit and tie every day. So you too, you have to also work in a company so that you can wear suit and tie, and they have to pay you X amount of money. It's all good. But sometimes you may not get that opportunity. And if you don't get that opportunity, don't take it personal. Rather, leverage the system, build on your skills. The most important thing is this: you have to be thinking long term. Think long term. Don't think about today. Don't think about what you're going to get now. Think about 10 years. Think about 20 years. How will that experience make you? If you think like that, then you can leverage the system to increase your efficiency, your effectiveness, and most importantly, be able to take your life to the next level. Whether you like it or not, somebody is going to be taking advantage of you. But remember, as they are taking advantage of you by not paying you fair, you are also leveraging the system to build your capacity, your tenacity, so you can become successful. But another thing that this experience has positioned me is to not allow this to happen again, because affliction shall not strike twice. And so I didn't like that experience. And so when I started going into business, becoming an entrepreneur, my vow, which remains, is I make sure that everybody that comes close to me, I pay them fairly. And so right now, anybody that comes around me, anybody that wants to do something with me, people on my team, I make sure everybody is rewarded for what they are doing based on our agreement. And so recently I had somebody approaching me to do a work for me, and the person was like, "Oh, Nhyira, don't worry. I like the opportunity. I want to be around you and assist you." And I was like, "No. Yeah, it's good. You want to be around, you want to assist me, but I got to pay you for your work. I got to pay you for what you are doing, because I did not get that experience. I didn't get that opportunity to have my salary negotiated." And so when people come around me, the first thing I get them to understand, after we agree that, hey, this is what I want, yes, you can do it, then we have to talk about money. How much is it going to cost me? How much are you willing to charge me? If I'm comfortable, we move on the deal. If I'm not comfortable, I'm sorry, can we get your pricing down, or can we negotiate or renegotiate the terms of the agreement? Listen, guys, whether you like it or not, somebody is going to be taking advantage of you. And if the person is taking advantage of you by not paying you fairly, don't take it personal. Use the system, leverage on it so you can take your life to the next level. Let me hear from you in the comment section what you think about this lesson, and most importantly, how has your experience been when you started your journey? And how has that positioned you to become successful as an individual? I'll see you in the next one. Of vacation sites that I want to visit, but it all boils down to one thing, that everything, so you don't have this kind of burden and failure.